All right. Welcome, everyone, to the All About Nothing podcast, kind of daily show. I am Barrett Gruber, host of the All About Nothing podcast with Zach King. You can follow me across all social media at Barrett Gruber. With me is the host of the podcast, Black, White, and Blue in the South with Dr. Jamil Brooks. It's Bill Kimler. You can follow him across all the social media at Political Bill SC. If you want to participate in the show, you can chat with us on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. You can find links at the top of our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. Hello, Bill. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Barrett Gruber. How the heck are you?
It's a Monday, if I'm being
Well,
honest.
then let me carry the show for you today. I'll carry the burden.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Very quiet.
Yeah.
Didn't really do Thanksgiving this year. We did it the previous Saturday with my wife's local family. And then when Thanksgiving Day hit, there was nobody in the house but my wife and I to stare at each other, and she spent most of the time at her ill mother's house taking care of her. So it was just a nice, quiet Thursday, which is fine.
Yeah, I understand that. There was football this weekend, ultimately.
How did it go with your in-laws? That's what I want to hear about. I want the full report.
Fine. Everybody was on their best behaviors. So, I think there was one instance where there was almost a conversation that was going to start with me, but that individual got pulled away almost immediately. So,
oh, darn it.
Yeah, quiet.
I was hoping for some tossing of the food, or at least, at the very minimum, some bluing of the beard. But that has not happened yet.
Yeah.
So what do you call a guy who loses a bet and then squelches on it? What do you call that individual?
Yeah, I a jerk, honestly. I'm fully committed to the whole thing. I have absolutely no problem with having my beard painted blue or dyed blue. Ultimately, Zach is not made the plans. I'm leaving it up to him.
Okay. So why rush into this? If you don't have to, let's let the winner dictate the timing.
I'm not paying for it. It's not, this isn't a Barrett. It's gonna, never, I think I've said it before, never before have I ever had a bet that made someone else financially responsible for something. So,
you think that he's saving it up for like a time when you have to make a public appearance? Like, let's say it's your kid's wedding years down the road, or you have to do a family photo or something, and that's when Zach decides to pull the trigger.
I suspect that there's going to probably be a time limitation on this. The next season can't start before it gets done. Otherwise, he misses his opportunity.
I think that's very reasonable. Before kickoff, not preseason, but kickoff of the regular season.
Yeah.
It has to be the Carolina. Yeah, no, just the first kickoff, even if it's Thursday night football. As soon as the first kickoff of the first game occurs, then it's a reset. You make a new bet.
Not the Hall of Fame game in Canton.
No, doesn't count.
Game.
See, I would have been, if I was you and I was out there making bets for the Eagles these past couple of weeks, I would have a red, white, and blue hair at this point because they just have sucked.
It's been a little bit of a collapse, but have they had?
And somehow they're still in it. They're still like at the top of the power rankings because all the other top teams have been sucking too.
Yeah,
it's just wild.
How do you explain Chicago?
I don't.
Okay.
You can't.
No, it doesn't make any sense. There's no.
But I can explain it because half the team used to play for the Eagles. I recognized half the names, running back and cornerback, and all these names were former Eagles players.
Yeah.
But they looked like a professional NFL football team against Philly that night, Friday night, and the Eagles just didn't look like they wanted to play. I don't know what happened.
The Falcons lost to the Jets this weekend.
That's really bad. I didn't want to bring that up, but that was sad.
It was sad, and it is indicative of their season. And what's crazy is I think that the commentators were talking about how this didn't really end the Falcons' chance to make the playoffs because it could be that Tampa or Carolina starts to fall off of what they're doing. And I was like, no, let's just call it. Kirk Cousins is in. We don't have like three of our starters.
How can they morally and ethically put in a 72-year-old quarterback. How is that even allowed? Aren't there rules against this sort of thing?
There used to be.
Incredible.
Before January 21st of 2025, there used to be rules against that sort of thing. But I think we've thrown all of that out to the wolves. Real quick, I want to remind everyone that the Joy of Giving Drive on Saturday, December 7th from 12 to 4 p.m. at Moore Park on Eastview Drive in Irmo, South Carolina. It's coming up. All donations are going to go directly to the community organizations like Sharing God's Love, Gift for Grands, Seven Oaks Senior Services, Palmetto Place, Epworth Lutheran Services, and Serving Vulnerable Neighbors. For more information, you can contact Julie Zimmerman. Again, it's the Joy of Giving Drive, Saturday, December 7th from 12 to 4 p.m. Julie can be reached at julie.zimmermansc@gmail.com. You can also check the show notes. So I have been suffering from this weird breathing situation, which I'm going to have an appointment to see my doctor, but what's going on is I just get out of breath very quickly, like just getting up and walking. And the teledoc, when I spoke to them this morning, said that, said it sounds environmental. I've never had asthma. I've never had COPD. I've never, I don't have a history of it. For the most part, pretty decent shape. I've lost 10 pounds in the last few weeks. And the cause, we think, is because I am allergic to white pine, and all around me is nothing but white pines. I have had neighbors for the past 2 weeks that have been burning pine straw and brush in their backyard.
I was going to say, if you live around it, then you'd be suffering from this every year. But is the burning new?
The burning is not. Yeah, the burning's new. This was the first time that, like, I walked out on Thanksgiving morning because I thought there was fog. And then as soon as I walked out the door,
I would just be careful, because we are now living in the world of Maha.
Yeah.
So you're going to be asked questions like, have you taken Tylenol recently? Have you sucked on red dye? These are the important things that they're going to ask you. So just be careful.
I'm seeing more and more people reacting to the fact that, for a lot of people, they're signing up for their healthcare benefits for next year as employees of companies who provide healthcare. And they're seeing the premiums that they're going to be paying on their healthcare.
Oh, yeah.
And 7-10% increases. And all because the Trump and the Republicans and I will give credit to Trump. He did at least attempt to try and push the House and Senate Republicans into extending the subsidies.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Where did he attempt to push them?
So he was going to make an announcement last week. That was their health care plan, was to extend.
And what did he do? Did he make that announcement?
Oh no, he balked.
Right. So again, what credit are you giving to a guy who balked? Are you going to give a no hitter to a pitcher who balked on the mound with his only pitch and say, "Oh, look, he pitched a no hitter. I'm going to give him credit. He didn't throw any balls. Look at that. He just balked."
No, you're right. But ultimately,
you know what? Do you know who Mark Elias is?
Yeah.
Okay, so Democracy Docket is one of my favorite podcasts, and he is just a brilliant podcaster, brilliant writer, and even more brilliant legal mind. He's gone after Trump more than any single lawyer and won 99% of the cases against him. He's just a hero, personal hero of the left. And I was listening to a podcast where he didn't even have a guest. He just went on for an hour by himself venting. And he says, do not give credit where credit isn't due. He says, Democrats who praise Republicans for doing their job, those who just do things normally are not heroes, because they turn right around and pursue some heinous act as like a voting rights kill act. He says, so don't normalize them. Don't set the bar so low that you're giving credit when credit is not due. And I totally subscribe to that. Normally, I probably wouldn't have vented myself like this.
No,
but he's 100% right.
You're not wrong. And you're not wrong.
I want to hear you say I'm right. See again,
Bill.
I'm not wrong is not the same. I want to hear
Kimler
you're right.
You know what? I get stuck on that too. When people say I would like to apologize for something. Sure, go ahead. Wait.
Or how about in a meeting? I was going to say,
yeah.
No, don't tell me you're going to say it. Just say it.
Yeah.
Who cares? You were going to say it. How does that add to what you're about to say, except delay it?
All right.
Horrible.
I will say it. Bill, you are correct. You are right.
Thank you.
We should not normalize behavior that doesn't actually equate to anything. It doesn't move anything forward. He just wanted credit for trying to, and ultimately the Republicans told him from the very beginning, there was no way there won't be a vote in the Senate this month.
It's been over a year.
Yeah.
Since I have concepts of a plan.
Yep.
In the debate against Kamala Harris.
Yeah. And somehow he still wound up having what Mike Johnson had. Somehow he got Mike Johnson to say he has the Republicans are working on concepts of a plan or what. It's like just stupid rolls downhill.
They got nothing because their intellectual ability to tackle tough problems beyond any of them or their staff.
Yeah.
They've got nothing.
Yeah. Donald Trump also has the preventative screening MRI on his heart and abdomen. That was
his big toe.
That was the announcement.
It was on his big toe, right?
Yeah, that he was.
Or was it his knee?
Or
was it his ass?
What
did he get his MRI on again? I forget. Did you ask Trump?
It was on his heart and his abdomen. They did announce that the results came out perfectly normal. That this apparently is standard for an executive physical, which I don't remember ever hearing that Biden had an MRI for any reason. Like, I feel like if that was what was considered normal, then we would have heard about an MRI being done on President Biden or Obama, or George W. Bush. I'll tell you right now, perfect candidate for an MRI. I mean, years and years of me questioning whether he had a head injury. So when asked by reporters, Trump apparently still has no idea why they ordered the MRI or what parts of the body were being scanned.
No, he did explain it. You must have missed the follow-up question.
Did I?
Yeah, because he came out. This is serious. He said that he took that test, that mental capacity test, where he has to point to a dog and a cat and a TV, right?
Yeah, right.
He took that mental capacity test, and they were so impressed by the results, they wanted to get a quick scan of his brain for scientific research.
That's fair.
Like they wanted to see a perfect brain, and they asked for him to sign it.
Well, the good news is for his age, it was the most perfect MRI anyone has ever seen.
Right.
So whatever that means. Yeah, preventative MRIs are not something that I've actually ever heard of. I have only ever had MRIs because of specific injuries that they wanted to get an idea of what was the problem. So
yeah.
it was reactive, not proactive.
I've never had one of those. Well, I've had only one of those full body scans. It wasn't an MRI. It was like a super MRI. It was a nuclear imaging where they put this radioactive dye throughout my bloodstream, right? Yep. And they were able to do a full 3D rendering of my body inside and out at various levels. And I got to see the guy like spin my naked torso around on the screen. And he was like zooming in. This was when I was doing the kidney donation.
Okay.
So I was talking with the surgeon beforehand, and he was showing me my body. And he was like zooming into this kidney, and there's my liver, and there's my lungs, and it's zooming out. There's my skin, there's my junk, there's everything hanging all out for the world to see. And it was
the imaging software takes off several inches.
It was like, yeah. Well, first I said, Doc, it was cold in there. Come on.
Right.
No, it was a really strange experience because when they shot me up with this fluid, you feel like this warmth just go throughout your entire body as it starts to circulate through your bloodstream. It was the strangest feeling in the world. Then they threw me in fully clothed into this machine, did their imaging, and then later that afternoon they had the digital recreation of Kimler out there. It's still out there in somebody's computer, as far as I know.
Yeah, my MRIs. I've had MRIs on my left shoulder. I've had MRIs on my left hand. I've had MRIs on my knees. And it's an unpleasant experience.
What was unpleasant about it for you? I mean, you just got to lay there and they do the
so you have to lay there motionless.
Right.
And sometimes the full running of the scan, it also depends on what sort of position that you're being put in. So for like my shoulder, my whole body wasn't in the MRI. I was on some sort of like a pillow thing that wasn't soft. It was almost like it was a table, but they had to position it several times before they finally moved the tray into the MRI. So that took time. And then I had to sit there motionless for 20 minutes in order for them to get the scans.
That's harder than it sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And MRIs make a weird knocking sound that isn't super pleasant. I mean, it's not terrible.
You walk out of there with some PTSD.
Yeah.
You've heard stories where people have gotten killed by those machines because they had some magnetic device on them that wasn't caught. It happened just recently. Yeah. If I remember correctly, I couldn't remember if it was a technician or a patient, but somebody was like killed because this metallic object acted as a bullet once that machine turned on.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And went right through their body and killed them.
There've been several, I think I've seen like satire comedies where, somebody's wearing a watch and they get jammed right up against the machine.
That's a lot more serious than that in the real world. And just imagine that's the way you go. I mean, that's just horrible.
My sister actually on Instagram, she said they gave me an MRI to see if I had pneumonia in my lungs or if it was a blood clot. So like they'll use that magnetic imaging to find infections and things like that.
I don't like it when you tell me family members are like commenting, because now that makes me feel a little self-conscious.
Yeah, where's your family
I apologize, sister-in-law, about anything I said that offended you earlier.
No,
especially when I was talking about my junk. That's just not cool. I wouldn't have known.
That's my real sister.
Oh, sorry, real sister. Yikes.
So Pete Hegseth may be committing war crimes. I think this
isn't that how you did you start off the show with that, or was that pre-show?
That was pre-show.
Okay. Yeah. Let's dig into this.
So both parties are now raising alarms about Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth after he ordered a follow-up attack to kill 2 survivors of a boat strike in September. According to documents released by the Department of Defense, visual evidence of 2 survivors of a boat strike were seen hanging from the nearly destroyed boat, where, according to reports, Defense Secretary Hegseth ordered a follow-up strike to kill both of the survivors.
Well, just even talk about the first strike. So, yes, the second strike, deplorable. We'll get into that. But the fact is, we are not at war.
Yeah.
There was no defensive maneuver here. They were not under attack. This was a summary execution.
Yeah.
Without trial, without due process, in international waters against foreign nationals. And it is just so morally wrong on every level that he feels entitled just to go execute because they presume there are drugs on the boat. And there's evidence that indicates that's not the case, but we'll never know because of kill everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
To date, the Department of Defense, Department of State, CIA, FBI, nor the Homeland Security have provided any evidence that these attacks are being committed on actual narco terrorists.
So let's assume that everyone was filled to the brim with cocaine, meth, and fentanyl.
Right.
Who did Trump just pardon?
A narco terrorist
responsible for bringing tons of cocaine into the United States, and he's going to pardon him and try to make nice with this country, right?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? And while you and I are sitting in disbelief, if you're a Republican voter, if you're a MAGA voter, how you can just look the other way every day when something stupid like this happens, that's on you.
Yeah.
There's no excusing you, the voter, who supports this and enables this type of action. The lawmakers who enable this type of action are just as guilty as Hegseth, who gave that order. They're the one. Senator Lindsey Graham gives his thumbs up to make Hegseth, a drunken TV anchor, to be the head of defense for the United States of America. Yeah. That's on Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott and all of them.
Yeah. A former Fox News anchor who also destroyed one of his balls with a skateboard. That was entertaining. Also threw an axe at a drummer. Yeah.
Hey, did you see last week's South Park where Hegseth was featured?
It's
all about Hegseth. It's perfect.
Yeah, I've seen the videos of it, but I have not yet watched the. I've not yet watched the actual episode, which I should have by now. But yeah, I haven't yet. But
it was a very, very good episode. You will enjoy it. They cut right to the chase, and they made Hegseth the complete douche that he is. Even stay tuned for the song at the end. It's perfect.
Yeah. I look forward to actually watching the episode. It was weird because I download those episodes and it jumped from one season after only like 3 or 4 episodes to
5. So it was 5
episodes. Whatever.
So what they've done is they released 2 seasons of 5 episodes each.
Okay.
So
Did
that's
they explain why?
No, they just did
okay.
it. Who knows?
Just
they're billionaires. They can do whatever they want.
Good. You know what? Good for them. I think that they're providing a necessary service. So
I do too.
The last thing. Well, okay. Before we move on, though, I want to acknowledge just how insane it is that, like you were saying, that the Republicans that wake up every day and they have to turn their cheek to what basically is happening. If Joe Biden or Barack Obama were using, and people are going to argue, well, they did, because Obama used drone attacks in Afghanistan, and that was his whole thing. Fine. Yeah, you can make that argument, but we were also at war we were still under an actual war scenario in Afghanistan. We had troops on the ground. So I don't think that holds water, where we aren't at war with Venezuela. Venezuela doesn't even rank in the top 5 of countries where narcotics are being shipped into the country. For the life of me, I still don't understand. Fentanyl has medical benefits to it, it's used.
There's legitimate medical use of fentanyl in the hospitals and in surgery, etc.
So is what's being shipped in, and I'm asking legitimately, I don't know, is what's being shipped into the country under, Border Patrol's nose, is this different from the medical fentanyl than?
Yeah, I understand that it is. It's concentrated, and the problem is that so little of fentanyl can kill you. Like, it is one of the most lethal drugs out there. And in a single pickup truck, you could contain a year's supply of fentanyl for the entire United States and then some. Like, that's how it was explained to me. Like, if it was brought in one bulk shipment like that, you just need to get one across. You've got the full need that will serve the entire nation.
Well,
so it's a really concentrated drug and very lethal drug.
Well,
now, what I don't get is the business side of it. Like, who's making money off of fentanyl? If, cocaine, you rely upon repeat business and addictive business, right?
Right.
But if you're killing off your customers with their first dose of fentanyl mixed in with some other drug, where's your repeat business? Like, where is the incentive to make money? It's all about making money at the end of the day, right? That's why they're pushing it into the country, because we've got the money and we've got the addicts. But if you're killing them off with their first exposure, what business sense does that make?
Well, and lest we forget, one of the largest I guess DEA captures of fentanyl happened here in South Carolina under Trump's term, where the truck came across the border in Texas and made it all the way to South Carolina. And
it was being driven by
a
natural U.S. citizen, a U.S. born citizen was the one that drove the truck over the border into this country, into South Carolina. Wasn't an immigrant. It was a U.S. born citizen.
It's insane to me that.
But again, I thought, and I remember reading that report, I thought that Trump had closed the border and stopped all this shipment. I thought he stopped it. And yet here we're finding the biggest bust in South Carolina. They were patting themselves on the back.
Yeah.
But I thought he closed the border.
How did he get here?
I thought he has 1 billion agents swarming over every truck. How did they miss the biggest bust in South Carolinian history? How did he miss it?
It's insane.
Meanwhile, they're still chasing down Abuela down, at the Home Depot, chasing her through the parking lot because they think she's illegal. Turns out she's Native American, right? They don't know. They don't care. That's what they're focused on.
And I keep seeing the same story about a young woman who was traveling home to visit her family for Thanksgiving. And at some point in her travels was basically abducted and deported. And deported all the way to Honduras, or I think it was Honduras. Like, there was no due process. There was no investigation into who she was. She was grabbed, put on a plane, and flown to Honduras. Family didn't know where she was. Family didn't know that she had been taken, had no idea.
Was she a citizen?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, it's like, you're right. The due process is gone because there's too many stories of American citizens being locked up and detained for days without access to the outside world. Military veterans,
Yeah.
right? They are eventually released. But the fact that you can just be locked up and detained because you look foreign, that is a country that we've read about in the history books that we swore we would never become, yet here we are.
Could you imagine if this scenario were playing out in another country involving Americans? So let's say Spain. I have coworkers that are United States citizens that because of their contracts, they live in Madrid. But let's say all of a sudden the king of Spain decides, because by the way, they are still a monarchy. Let's just say that the king of Spain decides, I want all illegals out, and classifies anyone who is not a Spanish citizen as being illegal. And this started happening in another country like Spain. Trump would flip his lid. His entire administration would threaten to go to war with Spain over this.
I think we're soon going to see some retribution like that. Not exactly as you say, because Trump issued an order that all non-nationals have to pay a foreigner premium price to enter into national parks and monuments.
Yeah.
So if you are traveling from overseas to visit this beautiful country of ours, you now have to pay an extra $100 to go see the Grand Canyon. Right. What if what if the Vatican started to do that? What if England started to do that? All these other countries that we love to go visit and see the sights have now been priced out of our range because this dickhead in the White House decides that he's going to issue some rule, some idiotic, unnecessary rule like that here in the U.S.
Yeah. I don't think people, and I get it, that there are a lot of his supporters that don't want to travel overseas, that aren't going to partake in anything that would expand their mind or their horizons. I mean, except for meth, maybe meth for sure, meth. But the argument that everyone who is here that isn't a natural born American citizen, to me, is just offensive. It feels like, I mean, it's obviously just pure racism, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. And I don't.
Well, you brought out Angry Bill today. Give me a good story. Give me a positive story. You never bring feel good stories to the table. It's always what's horrible. All right, I want a feel good story.
Let me see if I can spin this one for you then.
All right, spin away. Spin Meister Barrett Gruber.
We may not have the Republican Party after the 2026 elections. It is entirely.
Explain yourself.
Trump is in the process of changing the Republican Party to the Trumplican Party.
Like an actual Trumplican, like the name Trumplican?
Trumplican is the name of the meme that he posted on his Truth Social of what he wants to change. It's no longer MAGA. It's no longer the Republican Party. He wants to change it to the Trumplican Party. This is for real. I don't understand it, and it feels 100% stupid. But he is trying to take the entire Republican Party and MAGA.
Feels like you fell for an AI generated image is what that feels like.
He posted it. So
you're the one with the actual Truth Social account, not me. So I'll go by your verification of it.
Well, it's important to note also, no president in modern history has ever had poll numbers as low as Donald Trump at this point in their second term. He is currently between 24 and 29% approval on almost all of his policies.
Oh, come on. Nixon had to have had low poll numbers.
It didn't. Yeah, doesn't beat Trump. Not in the second term. The only policy that he's even close to even on, but is still underwater, is the border. And even on the border, he's only at 44% approval rating right now. Does that make you feel any better?
No, because we got 3 more years of his shit if he lives. Does he look like somebody who's out seeking anybody's approval at this stage? Tell me, when's the last rally he had? You see any MAGA rallies out there?
No. The only thing I can think of was the Halloween Great Gatsby party down at, but that's not a rally.
Yeah, that's not a rally. That's a private party, right? Of wealth and obscenity. Hey, let's talk about Nancy Mace. Big
Oh,
story about her today.
yeah. Did she? What was
Her
she's?
campaign manager quit and then turned on her, saying that
Oh,
she disrespected Donald Trump, that she was against MAGA, and that he couldn't stand beside her any longer.
that
That's a
feels,
bombshell.
yeah. And as well, it also feels misplaced because like it's not like he didn't know who she was. Regardless of whether she turned on Trump, she didn't. I don't even really feel like she turned on Trump.
She did. I mean, first of all, go back to the insurrection of January 6th. She was one of the ones that voted for impeachment, I think.
Oh,
But she had since made amends and became super Trumpian. Did a 180. But then recently, she was also one pushing for the Epstein files to be released,
true.
which was also considered Trumpian. But then again, every Republican ended up voting for that bill that he ended up signing anyhow.
All but
But the
Clay
fact that he
Higgins.
was, yeah, the fact that he was an early adopter. Oh, by the way, have you been reading those files?
I have not. I have not.
Because they haven't been released. Yeah.
Right.
So it's all performative bullshit. I knew signing it wasn't going to mean anything. He wasn't going to sign something that would have released information about him. It was all performative at the end of the day.
Yeah. And ultimately, I think
But I think Nancy Mace is done, and if she is done, who's left? Who's the prime candidate? Is it Pamela Evitt? Is it Alan Wilson? Or is it going to be Ralph Norman?
First of all, I've not seen a whole lot out of Ralph Norman. Alan Wilson versus Pamela Evitt. I guess it really depends on, because I don't know anything about Pamela Evitt except that
it's weird. I got like 5 mailers from her in a 2-week span.
Yeah.
And each mailer was different sized, slightly different. They all had the same pictures of her and Trump and Henry McMaster.
Yeah.
But then that was about a month and a half ago, and then silence. Nothing in my mailbox since. And I have no idea what that was for.
So out of curiosity, having Donald Trump and McMaster's on, does it look like a woman taking her 2 grandfathers to the park?
No, because she's no spring chicken herself, so they could have been her husband.
Oh, here's our picture. Here's our picture of our family at the old folks facility. Here's our grandmother and our 2 gay grandfathers.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. If Nancy Mace is out, which I don't want her to be in, but at the same time, she's insane, and I think that she is insane enough to draw attention from people that like that type of activity and would vote for her and potentially make her the nominee.
Yeah,
and I don't know that there's enough sanity in the state of South Carolina to overcome, but I don't know, to overcome the Nancy Mace insanity and get Jermaine, elected. I am going
another different topic. You sent me a flyer of an event involving your main man, Mr. Colonel Hightower.
Yeah. That is tomorrow.
I guess I didn't need the Mr. It's just Colonel Hightower.
Yeah.
You don't need to say Mr. Colonel.
I just call him Colonel. So.
Colonel.
I did interview him Friday night. That episode will drop this next week. Fantastic. It's fun being in his presence, but yeah, there's a forum that is going to go on tomorrow with Dr. Jermaine Johnson, Dr. Annie Andrews, and Colonel Chuck Hightower of running for District 88. His signs are everywhere. Like,
good.
I see them everywhere. He has, I can't say it out loud yet, but he has confirmed that he knows he is going to get an endorsement from someone that is a pretty big deal.
I think I know who it is already.
Yeah.
First of all, the fact is it's an endorsement from somebody who's Republican.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be making a big deal out of it.
Right.
And I can, off the top of my head, think of some Republican in that area that would endorse him over RJ May.
Well, yeah, but I can think of 6 Republicans right now in this area that would potentially endorse him. So I don't know. We'll see between mayors and representatives and things like that. So people like him, and he's the episode when it comes out. I've already sent it to his campaign. They've watched it. They really enjoyed it, and they really feel like it gets it allows people to really meet him.
You know what I like is Jermaine Johnson has been sharing the snot out of videos that I've produced.
I see it.
You see it? I mean, and it's multiple. It's whether it's at the banquet where I gave the speech, or I recorded parts of his speech and, you know, pulled some good clips of it, or the interviews we did with him on Black, White, Blue in the South. He has been wielding them full force, and I couldn't be more proud to be part of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't see anybody else making videos. I mean, he has a great campaign launch video, but I don't see much other in the way of normal type of social media videos that he's doing. He's doing some Facebook Lives, but I'm just glad. I'm really happy to be helping out the cause with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully I'll get to meet him tomorrow as well. So he's gonna be part of that.
Then there was an interesting article in The State talking about the state superintendent's race. And so they mentioned Ellen Weaver, who's running again, and she's got a pretty sizable war chest left over from her last campaign. And then Lisa Ellis has like 20 grand left in her campaign from the last time. Then they get to Sylvia Wright. Guess how much Sylvia Wright has in her bank account right now? And I've endorsed her. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
$1,500. That's what she's, and I know she has hit every county multiple times over the course of 2 years. And all she has to show for it is $1,500. And I don't think it's because she's not resonating with people. I see how they've interacted with her after meetings, after speeches. You know, they're all crowding around her. We're just stingy as fuck. We need to give up the cash and give it to the candidates that we believe in, and give it to them now. Give it to them monthly. We cannot just say, well, we're going to wait and see. Pick a side and give them that support. Otherwise, she may not even be around for the June primaries.
That sucks.
We got to do better than that.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can see if we can't give her the all about nothing bump.
Yeah. Good. Let's do that.
I think that's worked for. I want to say that's only worked for one candidate. Russell Ott. Russell Ott.
Okay. I sure as hell got no bump after being on your show. That's for sure.
Well, I think on that bombshell, we'll probably wrap it up. I got this in the mail this week. That's our runner-up certificate. That's our runner-up certificate.
Isn't it around that time for nominations again? Oh no, the party is around this time.
No, the party. So, not to speak ill of the party, but so anyone that won something or got a runner-up gets 2 tickets to the party. The day that it became public that we had gotten runner-up was the day that the party sold out to the public, and there were no free tickets available. There were no purchasable tickets available. The whole thing. Yeah.
What?
This is the best of edition magazine they did instead of a newspaper, which this feels more expensive to print than the newspaper. But, you know, I don't know. The Free Times, they know what they're doing. They've broken away from Post and Courier. I haven't seen anything about them doing their own podcast or anything. So, you know, that may still be in the works. I don't know. People don't talk to me. I don't know. So, all right, wrap it up. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Barrett. That was a little insight into your psyche that I didn't know we needed.
It's a little hurtful is what it is.
I sense it.
I went out of my way. Anyway. All right. Big thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, I'm not really hurt. Emotionally, I'll be fine. You don't have to send cards or flowers or anything like that. You can follow Bill at Political Bill SC and myself at Barrett Gruber. Thank you very much for liking and hitting that bell. If you can, give us a 5-star review, leave a comment. Until next time, you all stay safe, be kind, and keep your hands to yourself. I didn't